Okay, so let's go into CloudWatch, and we're going to look at first CloudWatch metrics. So let's go on the left-hand side into metrics, all metrics, and here we have some information, and we can try the new interface. Okay, so here we have some information around all the metrics that we have created in this course, and you may have a different screen, but as you can see, lots of services were already publishing some metrics into CloudWatch, which is pretty cool. So for example, I can click on SQS, Q metrics, and look at this demo SQS queue, and we can see that the number of messages received has like one data point right here. If I look, for example, at number of messages deleted, it doesn't show anything. Number of sessions sent, here's one, and then we can have, for example, number of empty receipts and so on. So you can get a lot of information for SQS, but let's have a look, for example, for EC2 instances. So let's go into EC2 per instance metric, and then we can look at the CPU utilization of my instance. And I've just launched an instance before, so again, it will show you some metrics. So you need to, have it run for a longer period of time to get some information out of it. But at least it shows you that within the dashboard of CloudWatch metrics, you can get a lot of information for a lot of different services. Okay. Next, what we want to do is to create an alarm. So let's go through the process of creating an alarm. So let's go to all alarms and create an alarm. We need to first select a metric. So let's find that CPU utilization metric for our EC2 instance. We'll select it. And then we can say whether we want to consider the average, the sum, the maximum, and so on. So we have different settings for this alarm. We'll keep it very simple and use it for the average over the 5-minute period. And we're saying, hey, if the CPU utilization is greater than 80%, okay, then please treat this as a alarm. But you could say alarm, okay, or insufficient data, but we'll say it's an alarm. In which case, well, you need to send a notification into a new topic of SNS called the default CloudWatch alarms topic. And then the recipient will be Stefan@example.com. Let's create this topic. And now, anytime the CloudWatch alarm is going to go into the alarm state, is going to send an email into this SNS, a notification to this SNS topic, which will in turn send an email to Stefan@example.com. So this is pretty cool because we have notifications, but also we have other options to set up auto-scaling actions, EC2 actions, or systems manager action. But again, to keep things very simple, let's just consider only the notification. Click on next. Then this one is my demo alarm. Click on next. And then as we can see, this is the alarm threshold, the red line, and the blue dot is the actual value. So as we can see, we're far below the actual threshold. So let's click on create alarm. And here we go. I have created my first alarm. There's another way you can create an alarm is directly from within the EC2 console for EC2 instances. So I'm in my EC2 console, and this is the instance I created from before. So just a very simple instance with no configuration. Okay. And I just launched it. And if you go first under the monitoring tab here, as we can see, we have some information around all the monitoring of our EC2 instance. So we get CPU utilization, status checks, and so on. So lots of information right here. And what we can do here is that we can add an alarm to our EC2 instance. So to do so, you scroll to the right-hand side, and there is an alarm status, and you can click on this plus button right here to create an alarm. So here we manage CloudWatch alarms for our EC2 instance. We're going to create an alarm for it. And then we're going to say, hey, the alarm notification should go to this topic that we've created from before. And then there should be an alarm action. And the alarm action is going to be recover my EC2 instance. So we're going to say, hey, I want to recover my EC2 instance when, and then you need to say the data to sample. So we'll choose status check failed either. So when either status check is failing, please recover my EC2 instance. So this is a very handy way to create an alarm for CloudWatch. And then click on create. And this is not working because we need to choose system check failed for the metrics. So always good to be wrong sometimes. So status check failed system and create. And here we go. Now I have created a CloudWatch alarm on my instance. Now we have 2 alarms for my CloudWatch instance, for my EC2 instance. Great. And we can create a third alarm if you wanted to. For example, we're saying, hey, if then, so we're going to notify to the same topic, and we're going to add an alarm action to reboot this time. And we'll say, hey, if the CPU utilization is greater than 95% for 3 consecutive periods of 5 minutes, then we're assuming that, hey, I think our EC2 instance is stuck on a CPU utilization loop. Therefore, please reboot it. So this is just a use case. So as we can see, we're far below, and we can create this alarm. And again, now we have 3 alarms attached to our EC2 instance, which is quite good. Okay, and if we go back into the CloudWatch console, as you can see, and refresh this page, now we have 3 alarms. So there's another kind of alarm that we cannot create in all the regions. You can actually create it in only one region, and this region is US East 1 because this is a billing alarm. So as you can see on the left-hand side right now, there is no billing alarm. To make billing alarm appear here, you need to click on the region selection and go into US East 1. So going into US East 1, as you can see on the left-hand side now, there is billing. And now we can create a billing alarm, which is to alarm us based on the billing for specific services. So we're going to create an alarm, and then we need to specify a metric. So it's going to be estimated charges of USD. And in here, you can say, okay, if my charges are greater than 8 USD, then go into an alarm state, and then send a notification into a new topic. So we'll call this one is the default topic for billing. And then again, Stefan at example.com. So we need to recreate an SNS topic because we are in another region. And obviously every resources in AWS is scoped by region. Okay, almost every resources. So we need to create this topic. Here we go. And click on next. And then demo billing alarm. Click on next. And we're good to go. So again, just to show you that billing data is only available in US East 1, and this could come up in the exam, okay? So as we can see with alarms and metrics, we can do a lot of automation in AWS, which is quite handy. So just to finish with this hands-on, we just need to clean up what we have. So let's clean up this alarm right here, the billing alarm. And then please make sure to go back to the region where you were working from before. So for me, this is Ireland. And what I'm going to do is delete all my alarms. So I'm going to delete my 3 alarms right here. So action deletes. And then I'm going to also go into my EC2 instance and terminate it. So that's it for this hands-on. I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.